Morning again, and I want to talk to you today about something that's dear to my heart. I want to talk to you why I believe depression to be one of the worst diseases that anybody can be dealt with. Okay, and what it's done to me personally. Okay, depression has destroyed my life. I have lost 3 careers, countless relationships. And if I don't take care of this problem, it will destroy me even further. I don't even want to think about what happens. Because in this country, even though they say there's lots of help out there and they've studied it, there's still a huge stigma against it. You can't look for a job and tell your employer that, hey, I suffer from depression. You probably have to hide that. You probably have to hide it from a lot of people. A lot of people think people use it as an excuse. Or another problem is depression is such a broad term, maybe they don't even understand what you're talking about. If you suffer severe depression, if you suffer a major depressive disorder, people use depression saying, no, I'm just depressed today because they didn't have the breakfast that they wanted. Or they had a fight with their girlfriend or boyfriend. Well, okay. I understand. I'm not downplaying that at all. But do they really understand the disease? Only about 1 to 2% of Americans really suffer from this disease. And the people who really suffer, chances are they are not getting the help they need, because one of the major things of this disease is that you don't help yourself. I've been suffering this for over 25 years. How come I haven't cured myself? They say 80% of depression is cured, that they have cures, but if it was so easy to do, I would have done it a long time ago. So I'm just going to talk about why, if you are suffering a major depression, when people tell you just to get out of it, why that doesn't always work. They say, why don't you do yoga, meditation, listen to good music? I even put on a video about this. But that only works most of the time if you're just suffering from a situational depression. Because real depression of the mind, where there's something biochemical going on, or something environmental going on, but something is going inside of you. That's like telling somebody who's diabetic, like, hey dude, just stop being diabetic. Just have good thoughts in your mind and tell that pancreas to start developing some good insulin. That's just how ridiculous it is to tell someone just to get out of depression, because you can't. Because this is why. Depression, through the biochemical processes of the mind, through the neurotransmitters, serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine, whatever is going on, it's not working. So you can't just snap out of it. And you can't be angry with yourself over it. You can't just decide to do yoga or meditation, because chances are it has sucked your energy. You can't do any of that without the number one thing, and that is motivation. Depression takes away motivation. Depression takes away your self-esteem. How far are you going to get in life if you have no self-esteem? If you don't have self-love? If you're anxious and worried all the time? Because something is going on where your mind is not supplying you with what you need. And again, it's not your fault. I mean, how far are you going to get in life if you can't make good decisions because your mind is just, it's like mud inside. Some days things just go slow. You just get a new job, the boss is just telling you how to do things, and you're not picking it up. Not because you're dumb, you passed all your classes. You got the job. It's just some days are worse than others, but you can't tell your boss that. You can't be like, hey, I'm going to go home because I'm depressed. No, that does not fly in the workplace. And you don't have insurance, probably, or even if you do, it's still very difficult. Like me, I don't have insurance right now. I was a firefighter, paramedic, working ultrasound. All 3 jobs I never had insurance, because you have to last a certain amount of time before you're deemed worthy, and I never made it past that time. I mean, to have insurance, you have to work so long, but to work so long, you have to have a very productive and good mind. Intelligence has nothing to do with it. Motivation has nothing to do with it. Having the right biochemical processes has everything to do with it. Self-esteem is just another biochemical process. Of course, there's environmental. Like if you grew up and people always bringing you down. But I'm talking about the biochemical product of that. And if you have that biochemical product and you are also brought down in life, how are you supposed to get through that? A normal day for you is going to be torturous. It's probably rare. Just living a normal life is hard. And I think the hardest part about it is just the lack of understanding out there. To really explain to someone what depression is, they should give it a different word. A different word for people who truly suffer. And it should be recognized. And you should automatically be helped. But unfortunately, that is not the way it is right now in this society. So I have to figure out ways to get help, to help myself. But some days, you just can't. Some days you just have to know that it's going to be sunnier a little later on and just have to go through the pain. And that is why, to me, depression is probably one of the worst diseases there is. Because you're very limited in how far you can go in life. I just want to reintegrate that it's not your fault. It's not your fault that this is going on. If you haven't gotten the right help, because it's a complicated process, there are literally hundreds of different types of depressions with hundreds of different reasons. Sometimes a simple medication or counseling is not going to do it. To find someone with the right education to truly understand what's going on with you so they can get to the root of the problem is a very complicated process, costly process, where most of us, we couldn't afford that. Without insurance, you might as well forget about it. So I'm just telling you that I understand you and I'm going to fight for you. But you got to fight for yourself. But the first thing is just know that motivation, self-esteem, hard decision making, people are going to have a hard time understanding that, but you have to understand it for yourself. Okay? Solutions are hard to come by sometimes. All I'm saying is that it always gets better later down the line if you just hang in there. The mind has a wonderful way of coming up with solutions. Just get good sleep, nutrition, exercise, just the basic essentials sometimes is what we need to get through. Okay? I hope you have a great day. And if you are suffering now, just know that I'll be fighting for you. And I need you to fight for yourself. And things will get better because you have to believe that. Even if you don't, just say it in your mind. And eventually your mind just may start picking that up. Okay? Talk to you later.